How's it going, everybody? Spencer here with a brand new video. Today we are talking all about Steelbooks. Steelbooks today, hopefully by the day you're seeing this uploaded, or at the very least the day I'm filming this, Steelbooks turned 20 years old. Steelbooks turned 20 years old, which is crazy. Can you tell I haven't done a long collection video in a while? I've really missed doing these, and I've been like, well, done my big Vita video. I could do a PS5 video. I could even do a Switch video. I'm just not sure what I wanted to really do. And was like, all right, well, I know what I want to do. I don't want to just do one big collection update video, but I'm like, what should I do a video about? And so I was online and I saw on Facebook Steelbook had posted happy 20th anniversary Steelbooks. And I was like, holy crap. I mean, I knew Steelbooks were pretty old. For any of you who don't know, quick little history lesson, not only about Steelbooks, but also what the hell is not a Steelbook. So Steelbooks were created back in 2004. The very first Steelbook, I actually don't have it, but it was for the European or PAL region collector's edition or limited edition for Killzone 1. It was one of those really ugly Steelbooks where they have the printed logo and the PS2 on the Steelbook. It's got a really cool interior art. I almost feel like I looked at prices for it. It's not crazy expensive. I do love Killzone, so it would be an interesting one to kind of get. But I was like, wow, I didn't know not only were Steelbooks 20 years old, but the first one was a video game. And I was like, that's really interesting, especially because, as you're going to see in this video, Steelbook video games are like one of my biggest things I collect outside of the PlayStation Vita and video games in general. It started probably, I think it was Resident Evil 5's Collector's Edition, and that one just really stood out on my collection. I was like, God, this is such a cool design. I love physical media. I love video games, and I loved the unique art that I saw in these Steelbooks. Initially, it was like, oh, let's pick up some older ones. The amount of games I've bought just because there's a cool Steelbook is actually embarrassing. So we're going to find out. There are definitely some games that I just have the Steelbook for. But I've bought games and I've gotten into series because I wanted the Steelbook and then got to enjoy new series. I'm sure I'll have a lot of stories to tell. Hopefully this video will not be 9,000 hours long. I will be shocked if it's under an hour. We're just going to be honest with us. So I will at the very least be talking about all of my video game Steelbooks. Hopefully I can talk about my movie Steelbooks. I don't have as many, but we'll go through this fun collection video. And once again, if you enjoy videos like this or somehow stumbled across it, please consider subscribing. I would love to get to 7,000 subscribers. And also, just let me know if you make it through this. One of my favorite things about my really long collection videos I did many apartments ago would be like, oh my God, no one's going to watch this. And then you'd get comments being like, it took me 3 weeks, but I watched this. So, what the heck is a Steelbook? This is a Steelbook. This is not a Steelbook. This is technically a metal case. I mostly just call metal cases because you'll see a lot of companies sell steel books or steel cases, or I've even seen like metal boxes. So I say metal case. The easiest way to tell if it is not a Steelbook is by the spine. Steelbook has a patented design. If it doesn't have that square, it's probably not a Steelbook. Also a great way to tell, when you open it up, you can see the square and everything. It is flush. And then let's take out my GameStop receipts. And then on the inside, not all Steelbooks have inside artwork, but you will always be able to see, where did this one go? This one's under the disc here. The Steelbook logo is always going to be somewhere on your Steelbook. So, there is not going to be any real rhyme or reason of where we start at this. I have my Steelbooks pretty well organized alphabetically, but I've got a couple, like my Atlus Steelbooks are all on my Atlus shelf. 3DS, Vita, Xbox I have on their own just because they're kind of like weird one-offs. Even my 3DS ones. Nope, already said that. But other thing to know about metal cases, when they open up, they like to do this and impress you and be like, ooh, look, it's connected art. That's really nice. Steelbooks can do that too. Obviously, metal books will also have art like this, They just feel cheaper. I'm sure it is just an elitist thing, but like, I've never seen a metal case with the same design as a Steelbook look better. There are a couple weird ones. I don't have any that I can compare to, but I know, like, and when I mean compared to, I literally, like, the one for Resident Evil 7 we got in America versus the Steelbook they got in the rest of the world. Same design, same everything, just one's a Steelbook, one's a metal case. Steelbook looks a million times better. It's the weirdest thing. And just these don't really have as much value. Interestingly enough, though, there are some metal cases that are rare, but, like, for most big Steelbook collectors out there, these are cool. Obviously, I have some in my collection, but like, I've never gone after them. The only metal case I've ever really sought after in my life is this weird French Steelbook for J-Star's Victory versus Plus. And that's just because, what the hell, how did this get a Steelbook randomly? Steelbook. How did this randomly get a metal case? But yes, we're going to go through these. First and foremost, let's get some Weirdies one out of the way. PlayStation Vita, we have got Danganronpa, Ultra Despair Girls, the one-of-a-kind, Korean-only, collector's edition exclusive Steelbook for the PlayStation Vita. Now you may be asking, Spencer, why is this not the size of a PlayStation Vita? It is meant to hold, what is this, probably 12 Vita games and 4 memory cards. So if you're a real sicko, you can put your games in there. The frames are pretty cheap. Like, the frames on the inside are pretty cheap, but this is actually an official Steelbook release. This one was a really hard one for me to track down. I tried and failed many times to import it. Was never able to. Listener of the channel or podcast and everything had reached out to me. It was super, super nice and actually helped get me the collector's edition. It is above me somewhere here. It's above the Vita shelf, but it's like a really crazy big box. I love Ultra Despair Girls, and the fact that it came with an exclusive Steelbook was even cooler. Now, for the longest time, most people know about this one, and I say most people, but it's been so long now, probably most people don't actually. This is a jumbo Steelbook. I kind of hate these just because they are really thick and they kind of look cheap, but it is a Steelbook. It's got this. This is a Best Buy Canada exclusive Steelbook for Assassin's Creed 3 Liberations. Now, here's the biggest irony of this. It's not the size of a Vita case, and it is the mold is too tight to actually fit a Vita cartridge. No, a Vita case. So not only did the PlayStation Vita never get a natural sized Steelbook, both of them don't even actually, like, perfectly fit on your shelf. They both stick out like a sore thumb. It's very funny. Now, next up, we're going to go through my Atlus collection. So for, obviously, people who might listen to SMTN, my podcast, or just know me in general, I am a huge Atlus fan and collector. I have every Atlus Steelbook. I'm like, is there one I'm missing? But I'm like, probably not. I feel like I would have, like, developed, like, a growth in the back of my brain from not owning it. But I do have them all. Some were easy to get. Some were a pain in the butt to get. I've been talking for 8 minutes. I should get a drink. So, we're going to go in no particular order. It probably will be newest to oldest, though. So we've got the one from the collector's edition of Metaphor. This was in the collector's edition in the States only. Well, and also in Europe. Europe actually got a, funnily enough, a PC Steelbook edition where it came with just the Steelbook and a downloadable copy of the game, only in Europe. It's very weird. Kind of cool. Next up, we have got Catherine Full Body. This is the only Steelbook for Catherine. Sorry, American people who think that's a Catherine Steelbook. But this one's really, really cool. I got this as a gift, I think, for my birthday a couple years back. This was a GEO exclusive. A lot of these Japanese-only Steelbooks were pre-order bonuses from a shop called GEO. They no longer do them anymore, but this one's really, really cool. It doesn't have the interconnected art, but does do something really cool that I love. Because this was originally a PlayStation Vita game and a PS4 game, this can hold not only PlayStation Vita games, but Nintendo Switch games. So this is one of those rare games where you can put in a Steelbook every copy of the game. You can put in the Switch, PS4, and Vita version all in one Steelbook. Next up, another very rare, mostly in the sense of we don't get a lot of US-only Steelbooks. We have got the Soul Hackers 2 Steelbook. This was from the Shop Atlus exclusive collector's edition. You guys remember Shop Atlus? Me too. I bought this in a heartbeat, though. I think this was limited to like 5,000 collector's editions. Maybe more, maybe less. Soul Hackers 2 had a pretty small print run for the collector's edition. Now, the outside is very minimal, but I really dig it. It pops out, even though it's not like super glossy. But just a total wet fart of an inside. Like there's like a grid pattern there, but like this game has such amazing art, and we just blew our whole load on the outside. It's a bummer. Now, I don't always own duplicates for a lot. Atlus games are kind of my exception. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I do. I'm a sucker for variants, and I'm a sucker for weird games being on weird platforms. First case in point, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. By the way, if you're watching this around Black Friday, this game in the Steelbook are like $30 or less. Not sponsored, because God, why would I be? Not sponsored, but pick this up on Black Friday, super cheap, Steelbook edition, still very, very common. This Steelbook is the same on all platforms. So this Blu-ray version, very clean. This is how you do a nice Steelbook. And then there is some gorgeous art on the inside of some more of the Kadishtu. So I picked this up at launch, as I'm sure no one is shocked about. I got this full $60 price tag, all 3 platforms. I had to be that guy. We got it on PS5 as well, and Switch. Now, what was funny about this Steelbook was that this Steelbook was available everywhere except Asia. Asia did not get this at all. We had no collector's edition. This was like our big pre-order bonus. And I'm not going to complain. This is a sick Steelbook. This literally might be the best looking Atlus Steelbook in my collection. That's a hard, there's a lot of good ones, as you're going to see. But let me know in the comments below. By the way, if you have a favorite Steelbook, even if it's a Steelbook you don't own, if you know about a certain Steelbook, please, please, please let me know. Next up, we've got, this is a funny one. I love doing this here because it usually tricks people. This is the Japanese Steelbook for SMT5. So everywhere around the world got a Steelbook for SMT5, as the good Lord intended. But different regions got different Steelbooks. The English-speaking world got this. This is like a stretched out... Let's see if my shirt pocket will fit it. Of course it won't. This is like a stretched out version of the cover. It's fine. It's got some cool demons. It's the cover art. I don't mind it too much. And then you've got the protagonist and Nahabino on the inside art. Super simple, nothing crazy. I don't hate this Steelbook. I don't mind it. I think the Japanese one is infinitely superior. It's got a spot gloss finish on Nahabino. They pop out a lot more. This art, obviously designed for a Switch, fits way better vertically than spread apart 2 pages. Back is just the logo. Obviously not that great, but then the inside art is what saves the day. This is just sick nasty. This is fantastic. And in the West, though, we did get this great slipcover that I like to put on other games. There was a fun little trend for a while where we were just putting the slipcover on any game that was not SMT5. Speaking of games that are not SMT5, got another Japanese exclusive. This one is Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. What a mouthful. This was another Japanese-only Steelbook GEO pre-order bonus. If you ever wondered to yourself, how much pea yellow mustard color can I get on one Steelbook? This Steelbook's here for you. I actually really like this one. A nice effect on it that doesn't show up probably as well as I wish my camera could. The, like, blood spots, and definitely not mustard spots, and his eyeball have a spot gloss finish that look really nice. And the inside actually steals the show. This is the best part of the Steelbook. Once again, you can hold your Vita and Switch carts there. Next up, we have got Persona 5 Strikers. This one I've done, what, probably 2 or 3 videos on. This Steelbook was a hilarious last-minute disaster. Not as bad as the PS4 version, which we do have. This was a pre-order exclusive only at Best Buy in America. No Canada, no Europe, no nothing. This was like a last-minute, hey, Best Buy is really into Steelbooks. Atlus, can you do us some Steelbooks? And they hooked them up. Now, what's funny is the cover is actually on the back part of the Steelbook. You'll see this trend with a couple of other ones. I know especially P5R has this. But this cover art stretches out a lot nicer. I think it looks really, really cool. And then on the inside, you've got the art of Morgana. Ironically, this was what was on the box for the original Japanese collector's edition. Now, at first, this Steelbook was not announced. This is the PS4-sized Steelbook. This is way harder to find. I remember at one time I owned 3 of these. I pre-ordered 2, didn't get one, delayed, got one, and then bought one on eBay the day that this game came out because I thought my Best Buy canceled my order. And I think we did a giveaway or something for it. But yeah, at one point, this was like an $80 to $100 Steelbook. I don't know what this is going for now, but really, really cool. It's a nice matte finish. The mask stands out, looks really cool. Weirdly, the only thing they kind of have like a little finish on for shine is Morgana's slingshot. But same Steelbook inside. I know, it's kind of plain, but one of my favorites. Really, really nice. Now, this one was funny. Speaking of the Japanese release, we had this. This was only in Japan. GEO, pre-order bonus, all that fun jazz. This looks really nice. This is very clean. I know some people get annoyed at Steelbook spines not always having the name. I don't mind it as much. But this shot of Arsene just looks really, really cool. I love the use of... So, if anyone doesn't know, like, this is like what a Steelbook is printed on. Like, this is just like its normal kind of material on there. It just makes it pop really nicely. And then the inside, kind of similar to the American one, is just all of the character art, but just super zoomed in. And I think it kind of works as like a nice collage. Another speed round we've got. This is the newest and hopefully last Steelbook for Persona 5 Royal. Now, when Royal came out in 2022, all physical launch editions came with a Steelbook. And these Steelbooks are pretty whatever. It's the cover of the game. It's super glossy. Here's this on the back. You're gonna see this Steelbook later. And then on the inside, it's just the city. Nothing crazy. It's a fingerprint magnet. It's a very fingerprint magnet-y Steelbook. But it was a free Steelbook. Can't complain. I do own a sealed copy of this on Xbox. I actually couldn't find this when it first came out. When I got my copy of the game, I got a standard edition, so like just like in a regular Xbox case, and then I bought a copy off of Chris from the Krillcast. So I still have this. It is still sealed. Because the only thing weirder than owning 3 copies of P5R is owning every one of them open because for some reason. And again, we have the exact same Steelbook inside. It's just a different O sleeve around it. So the PS5 version, same Steelbook as Switch. Nothing different. Some legalese in there, but still the same cityscape. Now we're going to keep this out though, because we're going to look at the Japanese version, which I actually think is just a little slightly better. Cover-wise, it's the exact same. They just added the word "the." But on the back, same design. Notice this is matte, though. And there's a spot gloss finish on the Phantom Thieves calling card, which looks way nicer. Way nicer. I think both prints just like way better in matte versus this gloss. They both look nice. They have different like qualities I like about them. But the Japanese one just wins it with a total landslide victory. Now, for anyone else out there wondering, hey, that's a weird Steelbook for a PS4 game. I've never seen that before. Yeah, you've probably seen this one. This one's way more common. This was the launch Steelbook edition in the game when we got it back in 2020. Here's what the back looks like. I actually think, honestly, this is a pretty cool design for a Steelbook. Laid out like that, I think that's a really nice shot of it all laid out. You still have the name on the spine. And then you can kind of see the inside art is actually the collector's edition box art from P5R. Now, if you ever see this in a game store, because remember, Joker is on the front, sorry, Joker's on the back. A lot of stores like to put it right side up. Psychopaths do this. If your collection looks like this and the gold Kasumi is in the front, you are a psycho. Put it backwards and look like a decent member of society, please. Let's see. We still have more P5 Steelbooks. Jeez Louise, we're 20 minutes in. What a marathon this is going to be. This is also one of my favorites. This is another Japanese exclusive. This is the Persona 5 Dancing and Persona 3 Dancing, because why not put them in chronological order? We've got Persona 5, Persona 3 cover art. No text. This looks incredibly clean. I've made many videos talking about this game and this Steelbook, but it never gets old. It is so pretty. The inside, matching colors for each of the discs. This is what we deserved for a collector's edition. So wild that they gave us that weird half collector's edition. Now, last two. We've got the P5 Steelbook. Kind of surprising with how many years old Persona 5 is. This Steelbook is not that rare. Like, this wasn't a Steelbook you saw, like, everywhere. But, like, I haven't seen one of these go anywhere past $20, $30 in forever. And there are way more copies of the standard version of Persona 5, but it's just very funny to me that, like, this is not that hard to find. And this is a really cool, unique Steelbook. So this art we had seen before, but it just stands out a lot more than the Japanese one, ironically. I'll show you the Japanese one. It's still cool, but I really like how this one looks. Then on the inside, it's a little more basic. It's just a cutout of all of the Phantom Thieves in their attire. And now that one was if you had just pre-ordered the game on PS4 or got the collector's edition. And then last but not least, we have got the first Persona 5 Steelbook. Straight from Japan. Why is the spine upside down? I don't know. They hate me. This I love a lot, though. The back, very clean. It's everyone's all-out attack zoom-in artwork. Looks really good. And then on the inside, just got this little main art. Just kind of simple. This one very much feels like, hey, pre-order bonus Steelbook. The funny thing is, and by funny I mean heartbreaking, this was really hard to find. This is a lot harder. I think I could have bought this so many years earlier than when I did, but I think I ended up finally finding someone who was willing to sell it to me for like $60, maybe 70. And this would have been probably longer. Probably at least like 5 years ago, if not more. It was pre-pandemic. But finding one in good condition, willing to ship to the States, doesn't come with a game. Again, it's like a $3 game. It doesn't matter. But it's just very funny. Like, I think because it was the first, and it was Japanese only, and a very specific pre-order bonus, just made it really hard to find. Now, next up, we've got more games. First, we've got the one I showed you earlier. We've got Attack on Titan 2. This was a weird one. GameStop exclusive for the States. Pretty simple Steelbook. Nothing crazy. But I do love Koei Tecmo. I already showed you the inside art. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's going to be a long video if I keep doing that. It's a whatever Steelbook. This is like this is a 6. This is a, I'm glad it was a pre-order bonus, but I would never pay money for it. Oh, speaking of things that I definitely should never have paid money for, but I did get a good deal on. Babylon's Fall! I think you can actually see, I have like 2 copies of that game right there. This is my Concord, everybody. So, Babylon's Fall, in Europe, only in Europe, got a Steelbook. I don't know why I got a Steelbook. Unfortunately, while you can't play Babylon's Fall anymore, this Steelbook actually looks really gorgeous. There were a lot of European exclusive Steelbooks for some reason from like 2022 to 2023. And I found this nice man in Poland willing to ship it to me, and he did. Here we have got a limited run games Steelbook. This one is for Battle Chef Brigade. Very clean. Some nice gold effects on the side. And a whole bunch of nothing on the inside. But you know what? It's going for simple and clean, and I'm all here for it. Next up, we have got the Platinum 10th Anniversary Steelbook for Bayonetta and Vanquish. This one's really sick. Sega, for whatever reason, had a bit of a hard-on and was doing a lot of Steelbooks, and then they stopped. I don't know why. This was a cool pre-order bonus or a launch edition bonus for Bayonetta. Hopefully you can kind of tell. She is embossed and pushed out, actually, on the cover. And then when you look at the inside art, not only can you see their outline, but it's their art with their character image taken out. This is another one, not crazy rare, but as a lover of Platinum games and someone who wanted a version of Vanquish that I could play not on the PlayStation 3, I was all here for it. Next up we've got, I don't have that many, but a couple of PS3 Steelbooks. We've got Beyond Two Souls. I think, if I recall right, this was the limited edition only at GameStop. I may be wrong. But where else are you going to get not Willem Dafoe on the Steelbook? Pretty plain. I was actually a big fan of Beyond Two Souls. Oh yeah, this was the special edition voucher. I have still got my Steelbook and everything. That is very funny. I was looking for Willem Dafoe. I'm like, Willem Dafoe's got to be in this Steelbook somewhere, right? He is not. It's just more of Jody behind a tree. But hey, he's on the cover. Well, no, he's actually not either. He's on the back. Willem Dafoe's in this game. So whatever, Steelbook. Not crazy. Not amazing. Here's a Steelbook I do love. This is a great one. Bloodborne. Very clean. Bloodborne's got a couple. I think Bloodborne has 3 different Steelbooks. One from Europe, one from North America, and I think one from Korea. There's like a really crazy red one. They all look very clean. This one's from the collector's edition as well. Some, I think, shot of Yarnum behind it. Nothing crazy, but I do love a good FromSoft Steelbook, as we will find out. Borderlands 3 Ultimate Super Deluxe Edition. This is a laughably cheap Steelbook, which is kind of funny. I mean, I guess just because Borderlands 3 was printed into oblivion. And again, I'm never one of those people that are like, oh, I have a rare thing, so I only want the thing that I have that's rare and expensive to stay rare and expensive forever. I like when other people can get things. I think this is a fine Steelbook. It's nothing crazy. The inside is absolutely nothing. It's just the yellow logo. Remember when I said I wasn't going to open all these and we're at B? We're on B, 30 minutes in. Speaking of B, Black Ops 3. Is this Black Ops 3? Yes, this is Black Ops 3. I love Call of Duty Black Ops. There's a couple of Black Ops Steelbooks I don't have. I think this is the only one I have. I need to get the one for 6. The one for 6 looks really, really cool. Black Ops Steelbooks, normally the only reason I'll ever get them, if I can get them for free, and if they have cool zombies artwork. That's why I have this. Some cool artwork. I'm a Black Ops 3 defender, and I'm too poor to have Black Ops 6, but I know it'll be there, because it's Call of Duty. It was a GameStop exclusive, and they printed it into oblivion. Unlike this next Steelbook. This is a great one. Celeste. The Fan Gamer limited run exclusive. When we go through the Switch ones, you'll see this one later. This is a really great Steelbook. I was so late to Celeste, it's not even funny. The inside is just the mountain artwork, but I just wanted to show again the cracks coming through because of how it was embossed on it. Looks so cool. Very, very nice Steelbook. Very glad, by the way, that Celeste got way cheaper to get. It was crazy how hard that was to get for a while. Speaking of ones that are expensive, I think this is also another really expensive one. Dark Souls Trilogy. Dark Souls Trilogy is funny for a number of reasons. This is like, Bandai Namco did this with, I know Naruto Storm, because we'll get to that one. That was another Steelbook. But they were doing these like late PS4 compilations where they were putting them in Steelbooks and reprinting discs that they had never done before. Or at least not that I can think of that they had ever done. And Dark Souls Trilogy is what it sounds like. It is all 3 Dark Souls games with all their DLC on PS4 in a Steelbook. Europe got these all on their own little individual cases. So this Steelbook is kind of hard to find, or at least rare, or was rare for a while. I got this as a gift from Mary, actually. It was a super, super sweet Christmas gift. This one's a fun one. This is a European imported copy of Days Gone. I think this was from the collector's edition or something over there. We had a different one that kind of just looks like a jean vest or something. I liked this for the red, and I imported this because I think this was like when Days Gone 2 was officially canned, or at least the pitch for it was, and I was like, I should buy Days Gone. Finds out Days Gone 2, not popular enough to get a sequel, decides to buy Days Gone. But one day I'll get to Days Gone 2, and one day I will get to Days Gone as well, and I'll have that cool Steelbook to play it with. Here is a Steelbook that was a freebie for a game I'm sure I would have liked. It was just like, it came out at a weird time, and I'm a Koei Tecmo weirdo. Dynasty Warriors. Dead or Alive 6. This was a GameStop exclusive. It's a really boring cover. It's a close-up shot of these two. It's Dead or Alive. Just put any of the women on there. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is the most like, all right, dude, you've got 5 minutes. Give me a Steelbook. Glad it was free. Don't have the game, though. Now, here's a cool one. I really like this game. Deathloop, Best Buy pre-order bonus. I think that's another one that was only in the States. You got both characters you can play as in the front. I remember her name is Juliana. I'm forgetting what his name is. But Deathloop, really fun game. You've got the baddies you can take down on the inside art. It's very matte, very nice art. Surprising they didn't use any of the 2D art, but not complaining. It's a cool Steelbook. We've got the special edition Steelbook for Death Stranding. Honestly, for my Metal Gear Steelbook collection, kind of a boring Steelbook. Sand bridges with some mud on them. Kojima Production logo on the back. A beach on the inside. Death Stranding 2, give me a better Steelbook. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. You know you can do it. You want to know what's a great Steelbook? Devil May Cry fucking 5. This Steelbook rocks. It's a matte Steelbook from the PS4 version. And if that wasn't good enough for you, take a note, Dead or Alive 6. Got Nero with all the babes. Great 2D illustration right there. Super clean. And then on the inside, all our playable characters. Such a great Steelbook. Imported it from Asia. Of course we didn't get one over here. Next up, we have got underrated Steelbook, by the way. Underrated game, underrated Steelbook. Diofield Chronicle. Great 2D art. Simple and clean back. Beautiful inside. Really big fan. European only. Boo. Pretty cheap, though. Or at least when I bought this, it was pretty cheap. Steelbook I got from Best Buy for 99 cents. Doom Eternal. Led to me buying the game. Also was pretty cheap. One day I will get to it. I still have to do a Doom marathon. I think I left off at like Doom 3. I will return to you one day, Doom. Cool art. Cool art. 99 cents. What more do you need? These all don't have to be breaking the bank. Pretty boring one. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. This was with the collector's edition. I no longer have the collector's edition because I needed money at one point in my life. Still do. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a whatever. There's just a random 2-star Dragon Ball because it's Xenoverse 2. There is... Oh, there's a CD, though. Show some characters on the inside, but this is not a great Steelbook. Dragon Ball's done better. And I think that's literally the only Dragon Ball Steelbook I have on me. But I've seen them. They have better Steelbooks. Now, speaking of Toriyama, though, this might be one of my favorites. Dragon Quest Heroes 1. Chinese, I think Chinese exclusive. Chinese or maybe like Malaysia exclusive. Dragon Quest Heroes, the Dynasty Warriors-like Dragon Quest game by Koei Tecmo. Metal Slime, perfection. No colors needed. It's got the main box art Japan right there. So great. Did they do any more? Of course not. Why would they? That would make me too happy. Next up, though, Dragon Quest XI. Kind of a simple Steelbook, but I was mostly buying this one for everything else in the collector's edition. This was a Square Enix store exclusive. The inside's a little cooler. You see a tiny shot of Eldrick, but... The Pro Tag from 11 is in there, but nothing crazy. This one I really like. This was a pre-order bonus for Dynasty Warriors 9, celebrating the 20th anniversary of Omega Force. Great inside shot. Great inside shot. Really clean, nice matte work. This is the best part of the game. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. That's a bad game. It was a very bad game. Next up, we've got a twofer. We've got I forgot this was damaged. Kind of scuffed up, really glossy Elden Ring Steelbook. This was in the like $200 collector's edition. I love FromSoft. I love Bandai. This Steelbook blows, dude. Like, look at this thing. The inside's got all the color. What are you, the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Steelbook? This is terrible. Best Buy, though, they said hold my beer. Best Buy delivered. This is the free pre-order bonus Steelbook. Look at this art. What the fuck? Look at this. This looks great. The colors, the shine, the art. And then on the inside, you still got it. The cover art. What happened? Hide this behind the $200 collector's edition. Here's a fun one. God, I remember back in my early collecting days. This is funny. I bought this literally because there were so few physical indie games on PS4 back in like 2005 and 2016, 15. This company, Tedesco, put out 2 games on Steelbooks. And I remember buying these because they were physically available with the Steelbook. And I was like, an indie game with the Steelbook? That's insane! Now it's like every game has a Steelbook. Now if you don't have a Steelbook, I just think you just don't want one. Which is funny, because I know better, and Steelbooks are really fucking expensive to produce. They have a crazy high minimum print quality, and especially like during the pandemic, they were so prohibitively expensive. Oh, I just realized before someone comments, or, you know, for something I showed 30 minutes ago, I do have the Persona 3 and Persona 4 limited run Steelbooks. I ordered the collector's edition, though, so they won't be here until my children are going through college. But it is on order, so I'm not missing an Atlus Steelbook, so don't... If you wrote that comment, you don't have to delete it. Just write another comment saying, oh, I just got to this part. Ignore that other comment. And then below that comment, say, I'm leaving both of these and purposefully not editing them because I know you need the engagement. Thanks. Next up, another boring Steelbook. This was a collector's edition one. Fallout. Fallout has had like Fallout 4 specifically has had like 4 different Steelbooks. This is the only one that sucks. And of course it's the only one I have. It's just the front twice. Inside art is the barn. I'm not even going to take out the disc to show you. It just shows the power armor. I've got 2 Far Cry Steelbooks. Far Cry Primeval. I think this was another GameStop exclusive. Pretty whatever Steelbook, but not crazy. One of the few Steelbooks I have, though, that actually has the Steelbook logo on the outside. They don't do that too often. I don't mind it, though. You put the PS2 logo, though, on your Steelbook, I'm going to throw a fit. You'll never hear the end of it. One of 2 Steelbooks for... there might even be more, but one of many Steelbooks for Far Cry 6. I liked this one the most. I also found some Psychopath selling it on eBay for $40. This was like a $100 Ultimate Edition. I don't know what happened. I remember buying that, and I just been like, there's no way this is legit, but I just gotta find out. It was the week the game came out. Some dude was just selling this on eBay for $40. It was legit. Alright. Spoilers, everybody. I'm a big nerd who likes Final Fantasy and RPGs, so prepare yourself for what you're about to have to go through. Final Fantasy VII Remake. This was the deluxe edition. 2 discs. Why was it 2 discs? Oh, yeah, PS4 version. Had 2 discs. The inside art is just Cloud. Much rarer. Still keeping the tradition. Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. PS5 version. GameStop exclusive in North America. ESRB version. Very horrendously expensive. I love this Steelbook, though. I also love Final Fantasy VII Remake. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Best Buy cover. Still keeping the back black layout. It's kind of fine. Inside art, nothing crazy. What you might notice, though, if you zoom in, not the cover art. We've got Aerith and Tifa instead of Cloud and Zack. Now, for the Collector's Edition, Deluxe Edition, here was your Steelbook. It's the shot of Zack carrying Cloud to Midgar. Not black back, but it has like a weird silver foil sword. And then normally you would think, Spencer, this looks boring. Why do you like this? It's actually, isn't this the like level up screen? If this is not the like level up screen or like shot of the like schematics, this is like lore. This is game lore. I'm here for it. That's a cool use of stuff. Another Best Buy exclusive, Crisis Core Reunion, PS4 version. Well, PS4, PS5. There's a Switch version as well. I think this one's a little bit rarer. I don't know why I don't need to have Switch and PS4 or 5 Steelbooks for Final Fantasy, but I do for Atlus. It's kind of strange. This one was a pain in the butt to find, though. That might honestly be why I barely got this. This was such a pain in the butt to get. Best Buy, towards the end, they stopped doing Steelbooks. I think their last Steelbook was literally Dragon's Dogma 2 this year. And, man, you could tell when they were getting, like, towards the end, they ordered below what was pre-ordered. It was really, really tough to get some of those Steelbooks. Next up, Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remaster. All Amano art. All gorgeous. All on a Steelbook. This was the free pre-order bonus in Europe. We got a calendar. Like, a calendar's cool for 12, maybe 16 months tops. Look at this inside art. This is beautiful. What are we doing? A calendar? Square Enix, come on, man. Get your head in the game. Another freebie. Was this a freebie? No, this was the... No, this was. If you pre-order the game, PS4, Final Fantasy XII, Zodiac Age. I got this very late. There's another Steelbook for the Collector's Edition that's got different art. But I got this one for free. Not the game, but I got the Steelbook for free. Final Fantasy XII has some gorgeous art. This is a nice Steelbook. Picked it up at absolutely no extra cost in the game. I think I got this for like maybe 20, 25 bucks. It's in perfect condition for a used Steelbook, especially with so much white. Anyone with Steelbooks will tell you, if a Steelbook wants to get fucked up, it's going to get fucked up. You can only try to save it. Next up, I think, yes, the next 4 are all for Final Fantasy 15. We've got Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive. Final Fantasy 15 special soundtrack. Brotherhood Blu-ray. Final Fantasy 15 had a massive collector's edition. This is the most Spencer bait possible. It came with 2 different steelbooks for all the discs. Like, you just don't get more Spencer bait than that. They're actually pretty boring steelbooks, but it's nice how they're all named on each side what's in there. And even on the sides. It's a really, really clean set. Now, I like these ones way more, which is why I bought way too many fucking copies of this game at launch, full price. This I got off Amazon France. This was a French exclusive steelbook for a bunch of art that is never relevant to the game because, of course, the story changed a million times. Like, who remembers the lady in the back with Luna Frey? But this art is so, so beautiful. And then the inside is just like a random shot of them all walking. It's just very whatever. But I mean, for a freebie, it's a great freebie. Some awesome art. I love Final Fantasy 15. This was crazy. This is like the most not rare steelbook ever. But it's so fucking beautiful. Final Fantasy Deluxe Edition. It's just the entire extended art from Amano, showing some summons. It's beautiful. You got the movie, you got the game. All that for like $80. I was like, that's a great deal. And then, of course, everyone and their mother owns it, and it is not rare at all. But it's a great one, and I love when I see people bring it to conventions and stuff like that. Next up, we've got the... I'm trying to think of which one was which. I have got the Collector's Deluxe Edition Steelbook for Final Fantasy 16. I've got like a cutout of Clive. Back, black logo. It's very glossy. Nothing crazy. Then you've got Ifrit. Now this one took me a lot longer to find, but was very, very cool to get. And we're back. Yeah, we'll see how many of those I have to take. So, I did have to adjust some things. As I was recording, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this steelbook and that steelbook. Oh yeah, those are really far away. I gotta grab those. So I grabbed the rest. They're all now within arm's reach. So we'll see how long this takes as I adjust the camera one more time. So yes, left off, Best Buy Edition, Final Fantasy 16. I think this one was also like a pre-order bonus for some other retailers around the world. But, pretty cool. Nice freebie. Love Final Fantasy. Wanted the other steelbook just because. And we've got Ifrit right there as well. Nothing too crazy. Next up we've got, surprise, surprise, more Final Fantasy. We've got not one, but 2 steelbooks for Type 0. This one I love. This one was another European exclusive. It's the textless cover of the game. And then this is like one of my favorite illustrations, or I guess renders from Type 0. Really, really underrated game. And if you said to yourself, damn, Spencer, just wish you had a steelbook with a little more gold, Type 0 has you covered. This was like one of the first big steelbooks Square Enix did as like a collector's edition exclusive. This is great. The Amano logo in gold matte finish. This thing is sexy. And then you get like some soundtracks or whatever on the inside. Nothing crazy on the inside, but in terms of steelbooks that, like, man, this one holds up really, really well. I love the Type 0 steelbook. Now, believe it or not, I actually am not out of Final Fantasy steelbooks. We still have more, but I actually don't even have all of them. That's the funny thing. Final Fantasy has so many steelbooks. Next up, we have got Dissidia NT. You would say to yourself, Spencer, you're a Final Fantasy sicko. You love steelbooks. This is like some Spencer steelbook bait if I've ever seen it, by the way. This Steelbook Launch Edition came out, and you could get one of 3 random Steelbook designs. You couldn't tell until you bought it, because every slipcase was the same. Ironically, I got, like, the most likely to be one I would want. Even though I should just get the rest of them. This game is so cheap. I bought this used, like, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, Dissidia NT bombed like really, really hard, which is a shame. Like, I love Dissidia, and NT's not terrible, but had some problems. And I got this for $5, I think like in Springfield, Missouri or something. We've got Garland? Oh, yeah, we do. Sorry, for a second I thought actually it was somebody else. We've got Garland, Cecil, Lightning, 14 Girl, Zidane, and Titus. The other ones have all the different characters. So, like, you can get one that's going to have Squall, Cloud, all the other main characters and stuff for it. But still a pretty cool one. Not as sweet. Speaking of Garland, I love this Steelbook. This Steelbook doesn't get any love. This was another Best Buy exclusive. Stranger of Paradise. Very subdued Steelbook, but I'm all here for it. Inside is very clean as well. It's this nice shot of Garland from the opening. But I just really love how this illustration came out. This is such a great Steelbook. And for all the real ones out there who are Stranger of Paradise stands like myself, that's for you. This one's embarrassing. We don't have many of these, but this is still embarrassing. Here is a Steelbook I bought for Forspoken. Paid full price. Both the game and the Steelbook are shrink wrapped. I'm not a Forspoken hater. I actually have 2 copies of the game. It's a funny story I will tell one day. I played the demo. I loved it. I was told the demo isn't even as good as their main game. Great. I just haven't had time. I'm so... Dude, I haven't even played 16 all the way through. So, if you ever hear me complain that, like, dang, man, I gotta get Silent Hill 2. I gotta get this game. My backlog is insane. So, when a Steelbook is sealed, that's how you know it's bad. This is a cool Steelbook, though. This was also, I think, is even still in stock. Like, if you buy this on Best Buy, which you can. This game is real cheap now. It's definitely cheaper than $70 when I bought it. I did my part, though. I like this, though. It's like a nice little gold drawing of Faye on the back. But I think it just like, I think it has like the main cover or something on the inside. It's a cool Steelbook. I don't mind it. I will play this one day. I bet I will love it. It's from the 15 team. I love 15. Don't give me that look. I know what you were thinking. Next up, we've got Ghost of Tsushima. This one's a simple one, but I was too broke to afford the collector's edition, and I really just wanted the Steelbook, so we got the special edition. It's very clean. Nice aesthetic inside and out. The Sucker Punch logo is very clean. And then this nice pattern on the inside. This is a great Sony Steelbook. Sony does a lot of Steelbooks, but like this one's very underrated. I don't see a lot of people talk about this Steelbook that much. Speaking of underrated, great game here. Ghostwire Tokyo. RIP. Well, alright, I was going to say RIP, not to the developers, but I was going to say, oh, dang, RIP to... I was going to say RIP to Tango, but Tango is still alive. And I was like, oh, I guess RIP to Tango games coming on PlayStation. I was like, no, we're still going to get other ones. So, yeah, just RIP that this game came out and not a lot of people played it. It's still great. It's fantastic. First-person game. If you're an Evil Within fan, it is definitely not the Evil Within, but it is super fun. It's really pretty, great art direction. Pretty good cast, really good voice acting, too. Here's a fun one. I have a Game Freak Steelbook from the Pokemon Company. Well, not the Pokemon Company. From the people who make Pokemon, but it's not Pokemon. This one, Giga Wrecker Alt. Really cool Steelbook. For an okay game. I have this on Switch as well. You'll see that later. Great Steelbook. Really pretty. A lot of great art in it. Much like Game Freak's other kind of titles. Just doesn't get enough love or attention. Looking at you, Pocket Jockey. I've got some Steelbook holes in my collection that are weird ones. We've got God of War. This is from the Collector's Edition. I don't remember how I got this. I remember my wife bought me the Collector's Edition And I felt really bad because, like, either she bought it at, like, a time where, like, she needed the money for something else. I remember, like, she bought it, and I was like, this is such a really nice gift, but, like, I can't afford this. Like, not I can't afford this, but it was like, hey, you need this money more. And before opening it, I was like, hey, you get this. This is for you. Go for it. And then, like, a week or two later, we, like, found someone had traded in the game with this Steelbook, like, in perfect condition. And, like, the statue with the collector's edition's cool, but, like, I literally just wanted it for this Steelbook. Unfortunately, there's a beautiful matching Steelbook for this for Valhalla that's that's in Ragnarok, that's only with, like, a digital-only version. Like, Sony collector's editions have gotten insane. With here's the Steelbook, but no game. Even Xbox is doing it now. It's like, it makes no sense. It's like, oh, yeah, I love collecting Steelbooks with nothing in them. Here's, ironically, like, one of the last times they did a Steelbook right, I feel like Sony did, for the PS5 generation. This is a great one. The 25th anniversary Gran Turismo. This is the first time I've ever bought a Gran Turismo game. I think ever. Yeah, I've played GT for years. I've just was never that sure if I was into driving sims. And I was really interested in this game. The Steelbook I thought was really, really great. It was a cool celebration piece for the 25th anniversary and the game in general. And the craziest part is, this is one of the only games out there that comes with a PS4 code. Because most games would be like, oh, well, here, we'll give you the PS4 disc so you can upgrade to the PS5 version. And they're like, no. We're going to give you the giant 4K Blu-ray disc. And then you can download the lesser PS4 version that we know you'll never play. Unless you want to get some trophies. Which I respected. I thought that was cool. Next up, we're almost maybe halfway. We've got GTA 5, PS3 Steelbook. Nothing crazy. I like this collector's edition, though. It is pretty schwanky. Very good in-universe art. Love some good Red Dead. Next up, we have got Guardians of the Galaxy. Extremely underrated game. So this Steelbook was with the Deluxe Edition, so back when Square Enix still did that. You got the Deluxe Edition Steelbook. It's okay. It's got some cool shots. The inside looks a little bit nicer. It's the extended cover art. This was wild. Really last-minute announcement. They were like, hey, Walmart gets a free Steelbook with your copy of the game. Which, of course, I picked up. Inside, just purple, mesh, whatever. And then you get this on the outside. This, like, comic book art cover. This is fantastic. It's great. Only way maybe a little bit better if it was, like, matte instead of gloss. But for a free Steelbook, was absolutely great. Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, probably, like, if not top 10 most underplayed or underappreciated games ever, it's up there. That game is so great. Soundtrack, characters, everything. Hitman, Steelbook Edition. Hitman is a series I really got to get back to. Have not played 2 or 3. Need to play more of 1. I know the trilogy and everything's out there. Here it is. This was the... Remember we released Hitman as like an episodic game? And then that blew up in our faces and like sold really, really terribly. Well, they released it physically with this gorgeous Steelbook edition. And still sold really, really terribly. But I did my part, damn it. And then we've got a little Horizon twofer. We have got, I think this is rarer. This is from the Collector's Edition. This is Horizon Zero Dawn, the PS4 version. Yes, I am a sicko. I may probably end up buying the PS5 physical down the line. And then speaking of PS5, we've got Forbidden West, the Steelbook. This one I actually like a lot more. It looks a lot better in terms of art in general. It doesn't match the aesthetic, though, of the first game, which is a little bit weird. Also, it is a 2-disc Steelbook for some reason. I guess, ironically, that's actually kind of funny, because if you bought the complete edition, this would hold both copies, so that's actually kind of cool to know. But yeah, there's even more art on the inside. This is another game I desperately, desperately need to go back and finish. I love Horizon. This one just came out, like all Horizon games. They come out at terrible times, but they're great games. And that's our first shelf. That was this. I looked at the equivalent of this, but a shelf below. We have a whole other shelf like that left. God bless the tea break. All right, next up. We've got some ugly Steelbooks we're going to do a quick detour. We've got some DVD-sized video game Blu-rays. We've got Tomb Raider, PS3, 360 era reboot. This was a Target exclusive. Target did Steelbooks, and I guess still does some. But for video games, it was very rare Target did Steelbooks. They're kind of getting back into it with Ubisoft. I know Star Wars Outlaws had one, and Assassin's Creed is a really nice one coming next year I want to try and get. But I got that one for free. That was a random, hey, I'm working at GameStop, and someone traded it in. And then I've got one of my favorite games of all time, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. This is a great Steelbook. Unfortunately, in America, if you bought the collector's edition, all Steelbooks came in this ugly 360 DVD size case. So that's a bummer. But, same problem, way better art. There's this Yoji Shinkawa Steelbook. There's a great video on this channel, by the way. I got sent one that got so destroyed in transit that the guy on eBay who sold it to me was like, hey, it's not even worth you shipping it back. I'll give you your money back. And I was like, what do I do with this, like, gnarled up Steelbook? And we just like, we beat it like the printer from Office Space. So if you look at, like, my really, really old videos, me at some random TaioCon, there's a video of us destroying a Metal Gear Rising Steelbook, and that's why. Here's a really rare Steelbook I got from Japan. This one's great. I guess this technically is a DVD Steelbook. Metal Gear Solid 2 Bande Dessinée. This is the Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 motion comic on DVD. For those of you who don't know, Metal Gear Solid had 2 comics, both by Ashley Woods. They are fantastic. This Steelbook is completely boring on the inside, but Ashley Wood art, so cool. DVD release, I don't even know where this released originally. This was a really random find for me. Condition's pretty good. I bought it used on Amazon, and the seller somehow was legit. It was a pretty good price, and I've never seen it since. Honestly, I'd be really curious to see what it goes for, and would like to check it out. But this is definitely one of my favorite Metal Gear Steelbooks, just because of how much I love Metal Gear Solid and Ashley Wood's art as well. So, those are our ugly ones. Got some more game ones. We've got Indigo Prophecy. I actually forgot I had this one. This is otherwise known as Fahrenheit in some other countries. This is from the PS4 release. So it's the PS2 emulated version on PS4 by Limited Run Games. And then eventually later on, they did a European version just without the Steelbook. I bought this literally just because I remember playing Indigo Prophecy. I was a big Quantum Dream fan right from the demo. This game has a great demo. I don't even know if I ever actually finished it, but I'm like, man, I need to one of these days. And what's really funny is you can tell, like, what happened. I don't even know how well you can see this. I remember, like, one day, whenever I ordered this, there's this big gash across the steelbook of it. Like, clearly from, like, when someone opened it, like, there was a knife that just went right here, because the cut's really uneven. And, yeah, that cut happened. And I was like, oh, man, this sucks. I should get a replacement. And then, like, I remember trying to get somebody from the limited run customer support to swap it out. And I was like, it's just not worth it. It's fine. Because I was already like, all right, we're kind of done with limited run at this point. And funny I say that, because then we inevitably had Persona 3 come back, and then that got a hole punched in the face, and luckily we got a replacement of that eventually. Next up, we've got, hey, remember when I was like, dude, you think J-Star's getting a steel metal case is weird. Here's a really funny one. I got this for a steal of a deal. I was at a vintage stock. They had this not listed with it being the Steelbook. By the way, some Steelbooks, I understand raising the price of the game. I feel like if you're just like a normal video game corporation store, I don't think GameStop does this, but Vintage Stock is one of the only stores I know who does this, where they will have a SKU in their system for Game Collector's Edition, just so if anyone trades this in, and it's like you'll just get completely hosed on the price. Doesn't always happen, but you will have it happen sometimes. Found this for like $5. I think this was like right before the game got delisted. $5. I know this game blows. I never picked it up, but I was like, for $5, the Steelbook alone is worth it. Just for literally having Goku, Naruto, and Luffy on it, the Steelbook is 100% worth it. It was so clean. And this Steelbook, the only way to get it in the West was this crazy, like, $300 collector's edition statue. So I don't know what dude traded this in Kansas by my vintage shop, but you got completely robbed, and it went to a good home. Next up, hey, remember when I said Target does really weird Steelbooks? This was like one of their last Steelbooks they did for many, many years. Just Cause 4, Just Cause 3. Just Cause 4 does have a Steelbook, but Just Cause 3, I remember being like, I love Just Cause 2. I just don't need Just Cause 3 right now. I'll hold off. And then I found out that this got announced like really late or something. And there was one Target like half a state away from me that had it. And I just did a marathon road trip out to go get it. And there was one left and I got it. And it was just so funny because I was like, I like Just Cause a lot. But it was just really funny. I was like, dude, this Steelbook looks sweet. And I'm not wrong. This is a cool Steelbook, but it's just so funny. I'm like, I don't have Just Cause 4. Just Cause 4 has a Steelbook, and I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. Oh, I still have it too. That's really funny. I still have the Target receipt. Let's see when I bought this. Let us see. January. No, hold on. That was the return by date. Holy shit. 2 days before Christmas. That's so funny. 8 years ago, 2016. Yeah, not a crazy Steelbook, but just a weird one. I've never seen it ever again. I'm sure it's not that rare. Just Cause, not really one of those IPs that are like insanely popular, but a cool one. This one's really special to me. I am a huge KOF fan. I love King of Fighters. This was the first ever Atlus Steelbook. Remember, this was back when Atlus would publish other people's games. I remember when this got announced, and it was like a legit Steelbook. I was like, this means Persona's getting a Steelbook. But like 2 years later, I was finally right. This is a cool Steelbook. It's nothing crazy. It's just the cover. Some more art. KOF 14. It's fine. It's a fine KOF. It was a good return. It was a good mid-budget return, but I think the Steelbook being the thing I remember most for it, probably not the best sign to its quality. Speaking of quality, though, this for the longest time was my favorite Steelbook of all time. Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, wait for it, PS3 edition. For the longest time, this was the only Steelbook for Kingdom Hearts 3. And it came with, and you're asking, wait, did it come out with this and this at the same time? Yes. This came out at the launch of Kingdom Hearts 2.5. Mind you, this is a PS3 only HD collection of PS2 games a year plus after the PS4 had already been out in 2014. And these still sold really well. These are great HD collections. Hence why they've been ported to everything in their mom. But the cool thing about this collector's edition, along with the exclusive Steelbook, both of these disc art are exclusive to the games. And also, as a huge big Chain of Memories fan and Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix fan, this probably is like one of my favorite art pieces of all time. It's so clean. Ironically, I love Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 has a great Steelbook. It just doesn't pop as much as the one for 1.5 and 2.5. There was never any other Steelbook besides that in Kingdom Hearts 3. But there was this for Kingdom Hearts 3. If you bought the deluxe edition, you would get this Steelbook. Very clean. It's simple and clean, some would say. I wish it would just use a little bit more. Like, I feel like it used two really nice designs for the inside, but they should have like done something. Like, there was so much great drawn 2D art for Kingdom Hearts that I feel like would have worked a lot better. And very weird, we never got a Steelbook for 2.8 or like the complete edition. So that was always very strange. I've got another limited run Steelbook, Kingdom Two Lands, right? No, Kingdom New Lands. I think it's just the inside is like black or like some art. Yeah, nothing crazy. PS4 indie game. It's pretty cool. This is a great Steelbook. I love this one. Don't get to talk about this creator very much for it, but Team Eco, I'm a huge fan. I love Fumito Ueda, one of my favorite creators of all time. Definitely up there with like Hideo Kojima. Great Steelbook for The Last Guardian. Came with the collector's edition. I still have it. Still have the Trico statue and everything. I love, like, it just works on so many cool levels. I love the shot of you running to Trico, the soldiers coming after you, and then on the inside, it's like Trico's feathers. You can't really tell, but it looks really, really great. Such an awesome game. I can't... It's been so many years, but yeah, Ueda's working on a new game with Epic. It's been a long time, but I can't wait for it. Very uncontroversial games we're going to talk about next. We've got The Last of Us. First we've got... there's a lot of Steelbooks for The Last of Us, just a heads up. I don't have all of them. I am missing one that like really bothers me, but I'll get it eventually. This is a cool one, though. I don't have any for The Last of Us original PS3. I think there were 2 Steelbooks for that game. This is a great one. This is a really, really rare, I think it was German only, and then there was like a giveaway from Naughty Dog directly. This was for the 2014 HD remaster. Pretty clean inside art. The outside's why you're buying it. You can always tell if you're getting a European Steelbook. If it's got the name upside down like a bunch of gross sickos. Like, what are they putting their movies in like this? I don't know. They worry me over there. Next up is one I really love. This one's definitely my favorite out of all the Last of Us ones I own. This is from The Last of Us Part 1 PS5 Collector's Edition. It's very clean. It's got this drawn art on it. Nice matte finish. The fireflies glow. On the back, you've got the symbol. Some more fireflies. And I think there's something... just kind of like some patterns on the other side. Nothing crazy. I know this one sold out really, really fast. This one ironically sold out while it got announced. I was like watching the Keighley Summer Game Fest. No, this would have been like Keighley's E3 replacement show. No, it would have been like one of the first Summer Game Fest they showed in IMAX. And I remember this sold out on the PlayStation Store because it was a PlayStation Store only. And I missed the pre-order. It blew really, really hard. But same thing happened with Last of Us Part 2 remastered. I don't have that one. That one's thankfully not as rare. I think just probably because of how more divisive Last of Us Part 2 is. I do have the special edition from the PS4 version, but I do really want to get that PS5 one eventually. This is at first, I didn't really like the art with Abby and Ellie. I think obviously after finishing the game, I appreciate it a lot more. But the Steelbook art that they use for the PS5 version is much, much better. And there is another cool matching Steelbook to that one I just showed. I think it was in Europe. It has a different drawing of Ellie, and it's got an older Joel on it too. That one's a cool one, but it's kind of pricier, and I don't necessarily need it, especially if I'm already behind one Steelbook for that series. Next up is a weird one. This was a GameStop exclusive Steelbook for Lost Judgment. This is a very weird one. Got announced really last minute. Considering how cheap this game is, I imagine this isn't that rare of a Steelbook, but I might be wrong. It's the only Steelbook for the whole series. And what's even more weird, I don't know if they just got a good deal on this mold. Every Steelbook is an Xbox One Steelbook. You can tell because the disc slot is on the left. Why? I don't know. Actually, I could probably ask. I actually know the person who designed this Steelbook. I could probably ask and they might know why. But really cool Steelbook. Kind of weird that it's only for the sequel. There's not one for any of the other ones. There's a couple Yakuza Steelbooks out there, but very weird little spot in history there. Here are some that I'm sure we'll blow through very quickly, but I am actually a baseball fan. I really do like playing MLB The Show. I'm a couple of years behind. They always do really cool Steelbook themes. This one for $15 is just a baseball bat. The one for $16, here's the sleeve, is a baseball, but it is signed by the cover athlete, for whatever that means. $17, you can really tell at this point Spencer was just kind of buying them just because they were there. These were always the MVP edition. I think they were always like around 10 or 20 bucks more. I stopped after this. I was like, all right, I like the show. I definitely don't need to buy this yearly. This one was based off of his jersey, so that was actually a little bit cool. I think it was, what, King Griffey Jr., right? Yeah. Griffey! I did get suckered back in, though, with... This was a weird one, too. Again, Sony just not knowing what the fuck to do with their Steelbooks. MLB The Show 22, the second PS5 show. But the first one with the special edition... No, the other one had a special edition too. But I bought this one exclusively, not for my love of Shohei Ohtani, but the artist who did the Steelbook for this, it is very clean. Looks so cool. Like, this art... I just showed you 2 Steelbooks with fucking baseball bats and jerseys on it. Like... The fact that, like, this stands out so nice is crazy. And this is, like, a dirt cheap special edition. Like, I still see this brand new for sale for, like, 20 bucks. And then it just kind of shows, like, there's, like, some stats and numbers on the inside. But, yeah, you're buying it for... You're buying it for the Steelbook. If I'm not wrong, by the way, I think this Steelbook was drawn... Not drawn, but I think the artist who did this was the artist behind Afro Samurai. I could be wrong, though. So, next up, we've got some more weed games here. Shocking news, I know. Oh, here we go. This is a really early one for me. I love this one. This is the special edition for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Not Ultimate. There you go. Now you can see the characters. This comes with a art book, comic book, and then you get this awesome, awesome, awesome Steelbook with my little GameStop receipt and everything still in there. Great artwork. Great series. You'll note I don't have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That has an absolutely terrible Steelbook. Like, just one of the ugliest Steelbooks, which I guess is fitting for that game, but still. Really cool game here. We've got Mercenary Kings. This was one of those early attempts Limited Run did of selling us Steelbooks without horrendously expensive collector's editions. It was just the game and the Steelbook, which I really appreciated. They don't do that one too often, let alone with games that I really like. Great back of the box with all the pixel art. The guy who did the pixel art for this, I forget his name. He's a really famous pixel artist out there. The game's by Tribute. Tribute is also fantastic, but the pixel artist they used for this was the same one who worked on the Scott Pilgrim game, so that's why it kind of looks a little bit familiar. And then on the inside, big shot of all the different mercenaries. Mercenary Kings, really fun game, very underrated Vita port, because it was also very late. Next up, we've got another Steelbook correctly sized for Metal Gear Rising. This one I think was just like a regular European pre-order bonus one. Nothing crazy. Here is, I'm sure I've told this story a handful of times on this channel before, but this is probably the rarest, if not that Metal Gear Motion Comic Steelbook. This was a HMV Australian exclusive for Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. There's a 360 size and a PS3 size. I have the Blu-ray one. It's got the box art on the back as well. Yeah, nothing on the inside. And what's funny about it is this was like a, I think 1,000 to 5,000 copies were made special edition where you got an art book, t-shirt, and Steelbook. The Steelbook's obviously the best part about it. Half of them all got basically, if not destroyed, like completely damaged in transit. So finding any that are in decent shape is extremely, extremely hard. Old friend of mine, Will, from Australia, hooked me up with this big time. I still super, super owe him for this beautiful Steelbook. Really, really love that art. And next up we've got, definitely skipping, oh, here we go. I was like, I feel like I should have at least 4 to 5 more Metal Gear Steelbooks here. Here we go. This is a fun one. This is one a lot of people always forget about. This is Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriot, Japanese bonus feature Steelbook. So it's not the game. This was with the game. You could get this if you bought the collector's edition in Japan. In America and Europe, you got this Blu-ray disc with the like behind-the-scenes bonus features, but it was not on a Blu-ray. The Japanese special edition was the only way to get this. I got this used from some dude on like Macari or Yahoo Auctions for like $20 with shipping, and it was used, and you can barely tell. This thing is in great condition. Next up is Metal Gear Solid 5. This one is really funny. It's the one from the Phantom Pain, also used to only show the bonus features. There's a cool shot of Venom Snake with his arm there. This shows both the art for Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes. Thematically, it makes sense. When you remember that Ground Zeroes never really had anything transfer over to Phantom Pain, hurts me to think about. Especially because, remember, this whole Blu-ray disc is literally just to show you all the cool stuff that got cut out of this game. And one of my favorite Metal Gear Steelbooks. This was a French event exclusive or pre-order bonus for the Phantom Pain. Has this awesome drawing from Shinkawa of Big Boss. Diamond Dog logo. I should not have the art blocked here. And then you just get this great inner shot. Super, super cool. I did not get that for free, but the fact that people exist out there who might have gotten that for free is really, really cool. Next up, speaking of collections from forever ago, this is the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 one. So, remember back when I was like, there are some games that did metal books here and then Steelbooks internationally using the exact same designs and they just look completely hideous? This is one of them. This was a weird one, where if you bought the collector's edition in the States of Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, you got a metal case with all of this art. This was in Best Buy Canada, you would get this. And also, one of the few Steelbooks I have that has Steelbook on the spine. This was a pre-order bonus. This looked infinitely cooler. Naruto Storm 4, I don't know if like any of the Steelbooks are rare, but they have some just really cool Naruto Steelbooks in general. Speaking of, we have got the Ultimate Ninja Storm Legacy. I think this one had 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in here. This was that compilation that they did. Interesting thing about this was the only way to get physically Naruto Storm 1, 2, and 3 on a PS4 disc, because those were PS3 games back in the day. Cover's a little basic. Back is also a little bit basic, but you were buying this more for the games than anything else. Yeah, here you go. So yeah, it came with the special Blu-ray, OVA, and then Storm 1, 2, 3, and then Road to Boruto, which was like the Game of the Year edition for it. I would show you the inside art, except I have it on its own Steelbook where it looks much cooler. So here's a really great Steelbook I own. This is a sideways Steelbook. This is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 Road to Boruto edition. This was like their Game of the Year edition where it had a new expansion for Boruto. This was before the series came out, I think like around the movie. And it was really funny of like, I saw this as like a pre-order bonus and I imported it from like the Philippines, I think. I'm a huge Naruto fan. I would have wanted to import it anyways, but like I had just never seen a Steelbook that used art like this. I was like, wow, that is like really cool. The like spot gloss on his eyes, the use even on the back. Now, obviously, when you open it up like this, it looks stupid, but it's just really cool. And then, of course, there's almost nothing on the inside, but really, really interesting Steelbook. One I don't ever see that much either. Weird Steelbook, but one I'm glad that I bought for $0 more than the normal game. This is for Need for Speed Unbound, the only Need for Speed game on PS5 and Series X. Really great game. I need to like go back and play this more. This game was like really, really fun. This was a weird thing, and EA still does this. They will do collector's editions without the Steelbook in them, sometimes not even with the game. And then randomly close to launch, they'll partner up with the company who makes Steelbooks and do like Steelbook bundles for Walmart exclusively. So this was a Walmart exclusive Steelbook. They've done this with a couple other games. They just recently did it with Dragon Age Veilguard. So if you want a Dragon Age Veilguard Steelbook, you might not even know that exists. They announced it like a month before the game came out. It's at Walmart. It costs the exact same as buying the game normally. Next up, we've got Ni no Kuni. Ni no. Ni no Kuni, really great game. This was, I think, a pre-order bonus for the PS3 version. Maybe GameStop exclusive. This was a funny one of, I owned the Steelbook. I let a friend borrow this game. We stopped being friends mid him borrowing it, and I never got the Steelbook back. I then worked at a GameStop where, no joke, I covered at a random GameStop across the street from my normal one, and that dude traded in the game. He traded in my game, not to me, that would have been like way too funny. But he traded it in, and I just like went to the guy I was working with. I was like, hey, I'm going to print out and put this in a big, dumb, ugly, generic GameStop case. I'm stealing the Steelbook. Because at GameStop, they don't charge different SKUs for the Steelbooks, especially on pre-owned stuff. So I was like, I'm getting this back. And next up, a Ni no Kuni 2 Power Hour. This is the Steelbook for Ni no Kuni 2. This was for the collector's edition. Some drawn art on the back. Ni no Kuni 2 I gotta get back to. It's been a long time. And then this is a weird one. Ni no Kuni 2. This Steelbook, you had to go to like E3 before the game came out to get it. Wasn't even like a pre-order bonus. It was just like, hey, did you go to Anime Expo this year? Here's a Steelbook. And I owned this Steelbook for years before buying this game. Like, Ni no Kuni 2 is like one of the most dirt cheap collector's editions I've ever seen in my life. But I had that Steelbook for years. Shout out to my friend Drew for getting it to me. We've talked about some other Steelbooks I have that are like just big, giant reminders in my face of like, oh my god, dude, you've got to get back to play this game. This game is one of them. And we're going to say the title properly. Nier Replicant version 1.22447487139... This Steelbook almost didn't happen. I love Nier, but like many people, I'm a Nier Automata baby. I got into the series mostly with Automata. I played OG PS3 Nier, never played Replicant. Was very excited when this got announced. This Steelbook you could only get in America with the collector's edition. And I was like, fuck that, because it sold out really fast, and it's still probably really expensive. Thankfully, this was given out in Japan either as a pre-order bonus through the Square Enix shop or something, and it is the exact same Steelbook, inside and out. It's very pretty. And then there is a nice shot of the city here. I bought the game. I had had the game for a hot minute. I'd like held out for a really long time though, because I was like, well, because like maybe it'll go back in stock. Maybe they'll get it. Like, and it's pretty rare that. Hey, do you guys remember when I said I may have to stop a couple of times in this video? I think it might go over an hour. Yes, my storage was full. I had to delete some stuff, but left off. Nier Replicant, had to move the camera. Missed out on the collector's edition, finally got this. If you have this, you are very lucky and handsome. Next up, we've got Nier Automata. Whoop, I gotta get used to that. Next up, we've got Nier Automata. So, Nier Automata, this was another one where the collector's edition sold out really, really fast. I thankfully was able to get this. This is another exclusive to this Steelbook collector's edition life. Really simple, but really, really nice art. And then you've got the American cover on the inside. Next up, we have got a often forgotten Steelbook. We've got No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky here. This was from the special edition from Sony, back when Sony was publishing this. The Steelbook and the Hello Games logo there. Pretty cool little Steelbook. Very colorful inside as well. It's another one I don't really see too much with it, especially with how much more popular that game has gotten. Here is a Steelbook I desperately need to get the game of. Friends will not shut up about how good this game is. Octopath Traveler 2. This was a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. I think the last... No, Final Fantasy Rebirth would have been the last Square Enix Steelbook. But this one is a matte Steelbook with not a lot of colors, but the gray and silver looks really, really clean. And there's a lot of things I like about this Steelbook. I love the campfire drawing, and the inside with all 8 of the protagonists is so cool. And the only thing cooler, hopefully this will show, is there's the pixel art of all the playable protagonists on the spine. I thought that was such a cool little touch. Now, if only I would buy it. Here is one I never really see that much of, but man, am I glad I have it, even though it is really boring. One Piece Odyssey. This game had a collector's edition, but there was no Steelbook with the collector's edition. There was only a Steelbook at GameStop if you pre-ordered it. So, picked it up. I don't even know what to say about this, by the way. Nothing on the back. At least we have something on the spine. The inside art is the outside art. God, I love One Piece. I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? Great game, though. People, play Odyssey. It's a great game. Kind of similar thought process, but I don't know. I give it a little bit of a pass. Is Game with No Logo, otherwise known as The Order 1886. I got this on Super Duper Trooper clearance. This was a cool pickup. I got this with the statue and everything for like, I think $18 at a GameStop many years after release. And yeah, just a simple Steelbook for a fun game. And I still am sad that we did not get a sequel. Next up, we've got Pixel Junk Monsters 2. This is a weird one. This is a series that I have always loved. I've loved Pixel Junk Monsters. I mean, Pixel Junk everything in general. And yeah, this is just one of those weird ones of like a game similar to like Pixel Junk Eden 2. Of this is a crazy, crazy popular game at the time that just, it feels like nobody played the sequel. And there's nothing wrong with this. Like, this game is fine. It's a fine, fun game. It just feels like nobody played it. Here's a game that people definitely did play, that this Steelbook looks like absolute nonsense, but it is not worth getting the explanation for it out. This is the Steelbook for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. God, look at that. Look at, who can read that? So, this is a fun fighting game. I picked this up. This was through Limited Run, and then, of course, published a million other times at retail with more content. Ha 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 ha. And what's funny about this is this Steelbook, there is a magnet here on this and the Switch version, and you can put the different Mighty Morphin Power Ranger emblems that kind of look like this, just not upside down. And it will go on there, and it's a cool gimmick, but it's never on there. It's not like a MagSafe lock. Like, if you've ever done, like, the iPhone, like, magnet, it won't, like, just stay on there, like, forever. If I did, like, this, it would fall off. It's, like, just there to look cool until you pick it up and move it, and then the gimmick completely blows it. So, sacrifice design. In the long run, I kind of wish we had gotten just a Steelbook with cool art and not this, because this says nothing Power Rangers anywhere on it. Good thing I own it twice. Next up, though, here's a game I bought legitimately only for the Steelbook. And I'm so glad I did, because this Steelbook and this game fucking rocks. Prey, not to be confused with Native American Prey, is such an awesome game by Arcane. Great Steelbook design. What, like, again, kind of going back to Deathloop, like, man, really use that concept art in great ways, and this Steelbook is fantastic. This was a Best Buy pre-order bonus back when Best Buy, when they did exclusive Steelbooks, they were flooded with them, so this was a very common Steelbook for a long time. I don't know what it goes for now, though. Next up, we have got a personal favorite of mine. This is a great limited run Steelbook. It's another PS2 emulation Steelbook, but it's for Psychonauts. This was ahead of Psychonauts 2 coming out, and I got the collector's edition only for this. It's a cool box it comes in, but, like, I love Psychonauts. The Steelbook inside is a brain. How perfect is that? This uses a ton of art. This looks great. The green pops. It is fantastic. The only thing more depressing about it, if you don't have this, is that there's not one for 2. But I mean, at least Psychonauts 2 got a physical release, so there's that. Speaking of games that only have got a physical release, Red Dead Redemption 2 has a physical release. Now this one, pretty simple Steelbook all in all. Very aesthetically pleasing though. The red pops, almost kind of looks like a deck of cards. You've got both discs on the inside, as well as some of our art from the protagonist. Fantastic game. I don't need to say that, though. Everyone and their mother knows. Red Dead, awesome, awesome, awesome game. This was a Ultimate Edition exclusive, so not the big collector's edition. I think there was like a big like chest edition. This was the like most expensive you could get without going over $100. Next up starts the Resident Evil Power Hour. We have got the Best Buy exclusive pre-order, and you got this Steelbook. It's pretty dark, very reminiscent to the Japanese cover, and I'm in for it. It definitely fits the vibe of Resident Evil 2, even though it looks nothing like the cover arts. The matte color looks great. You've got a nice shot of Raccoon City. Prepare to see that again, because next up we have another very late Steelbook announcement. This one was for Resident Evil 3, Best Buy exclusive again. A little more glossy than the last one. We've got Jill on the back, Nemesis on the front, and I shit you not, the exact same shot of fucking Raccoon City. I like this Steelbook, but man, this was definitely the Resident Evil 3 remake of Steelbooks. Now, Resident Evil 4. Whoo! This is a great Steelbook. This was the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. There's another one that came with the collector's edition. It doesn't show any of the characters. It just shows like the forest. It's a lot more moody. I like this Steelbook. I've always thought it almost looked like it has like the brightness cranked up on it, which is a funny thing. Everyone had that same comment about it. Shows Ashley and Leon with the villagers out front of the church. This is great. I got hosed on this. I got hosed on this bad. Best Buy was not nice to me, man. They did not want me to get this Steelbook. Found some dude on, I think, Facebook Marketplace. I literally basically begged him to sell it to me. I was like, hey, I know you're selling this at market price. I really want this Steelbook. Like, it was like opening weekend. It just came out. I was like, can you just do it for like $20 or something, dude? Like, because it was selling for like $40-$50. And I was like, homie, let me just explain this to you. Because like it wasn't like an account, like a reseller account. It was just like, dude, I went to every Best Buy in my area. I pre-ordered it. I got hosed. Help a brother out. And thankfully they did. Next up we got Resident Evil 7. I love this one. So like I mentioned, in the West we had this exact design as a metal steel case. Not Steelbook. Metal case. Got the door. I don't know if just people aren't impressed by this Steelbook. I really love how this one looks. I love Resident Evil 7 in general, but I think this is such an underrated Steelbook. And the inside is fantastic. You got the Baker family with the dinner right there. Great art, by the way. Because most people don't know, A, this is a drawing. And if you look right there, that is not Ethan. That is Clancy. Back when he was originally going to be still alive with you in the game. Great game. I got to replay that one of these days. Speaking of a great game, and a very different Steelbook for Resident Evil. Resident Evil 8. This was another Best Buy only pre-order bonus. But we did get it. And it looks like a book from the world of Resident Evil 8. Really cool design. Very minimal. Nothing on the inside. It's taking the words Steelbook literally. And I'm not against it. Here's a weird one I own. This is a weird collector's item. This is Saturday Morning RPG. I don't even know however they expected you to get this. Limited Run did a Steelbook for the Switch Collector's Edition, which was very easy to find. Still is really easy to find. Saturday Morning RPG is not like a super sought-after game. I like it. It's fun to play. But they made like 1,000 of these, or no, not 1,000, like whatever the minimum quantity is for this. And it was basically giveaway items, and then I think eventually they let you like get them randomly through blind boxes or stuff. This I think I just got randomly once through just asking a friend who worked there. I was like, hey, can you just get me one of these? Like, I don't want to jump through a million hoops, and this is a cool random Steelbook that not a lot of people have. So inside art is just the disc art. Cool little thing to have for history. Speaking of history, double Steelbook trouble here. Sekiro, Shadow Dies Twice. This is from the Collector's Edition. Great looking Steelbook. Absolutely, absolutely great. Some nice art on the inside as well. And then what was even crazier, Amazon had a exclusive Steelbook as well. You could get through pre-ordering, but when Amazon would do Steelbooks, they would sometimes fuck up, and they would put Steelbooks up for sale that you could just pay like $5 and just get the Steelbook without buying the game. This was one of those cases. For $5, no complaints, man. This is a beauty. There's another one in Asia as well. I think it was a GEO Steelbook. There's a different design. I think there's 3 or 4 of these in general. But Sekiro has some great Steelbook art. Next up, we've got Shadow of the Colossus, the remake. This is a very glossy one from the Special Edition. My only weird complaint is this is a Steelbook that I feel like they were going to make 16 variants of, and then only ever did the third Colossus. Like, why have this back and only do him? Great shot of the Colossus once it is fallen, though. Really cool Steelbook. Kind of pricey. If I do recall, this one did not get a large print run, but is definitely a favorite of mine, especially as an Eco fan. Very glossy, like, as you can tell, fingerprint magnet over here. Next up, another Best Buy exclusive Steelbook they printed way too many of. Shenmue 3. I picked this up, whatever the first Black Friday after Shenmue 3 came out. I got this and Shenmue 1 and 2 for like less than $20, both of them. Like, all together. Little ding there. We don't mind. This was a clearance find, for sure. But I was happy to have it. It's the only Shenmue Steelbook that exists out there. And one day I will get the cojones to finish Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3 is, like, funny. Like, I know it does not have as much, like, respect as, like, Shenmue 1 and 2 have. But I played Shenmue 1 and 2 in that HD collection, and I was like, holy shit. These games are great. So I played them all way, way, way too fast, back to back, 100%ing and platinuming them. So I think it's one of those ones of like, I think I'm going to just eventually get back to it, but I'm like, I need to do it. I'm like, obviously Shenmue 4, I think because I know Shenmue 4 is not happening anytime soon, and Shenmue 3 is not as universally loved, I'm kind of like, all right, go at your own pace. It's not going anywhere. Song of the Deep, a definitely not rare game. This was a Insomniac game published by GameStop, and this was through a fun little collector's edition you could get if you bought the game. You got the Steelbook and the novel, which is a weird little bonus, but I'm here for it. Next up, we got Sonic Frontiers, a game that I got the Steelbook like 2 months before I actually got the game. I went into a GameStop one day and I said, hey, do you guys have that weird Sonic Steelbook? Because Best Buy had one, which looked really boring and ugly. Kind of looked like this, but more dark and gray. And then GameStop had this, and the guy had a bajillion of them, and he was like, please, take it. And then I got Sonic Frontiers, and you know what? I didn't hate it. I actually really thought, I was like, there's no way I'm going to like Sonic Frontiers. I was glad to be wrong. Next up, we've got Spider-Man 2. Yes, I don't have Spider-Man 1. I want to get the Steelbook for Spider-Man 1. I just got to buy it one of these days. I got this through Cargo Largo, hilariously cheap. This is a really boring inside Steelbook. The outside's not even crazy anyways. I really love this art, though. Sucks this never happened in the game, but great art. I got the entire collector's edition for Spider-Man 2 at an absolute steal like a year ago. I got it for like almost $100, brand new. The box was torn to shreds, but everything inside was in perfect condition. Next up, we've got Star Ocean 5, a really underrated Steelbook. I really like how this looks. It's very clean, very futuristic. Can't tell super easily, or maybe you can. Just really like how this looks. And I was like, man, I have never tried Star Ocean before. Let's give it a shot. I really liked this one, even though I know it's not the best. And every other one after this has never had a Steelbook. So, it's a bummer. Another weird one we've got here. We've got some Star Wars. Star Wars PS2 Bounty Hunter. Not the new one. Not the old one. This is the PS2 one, which is an emulation of the... This is the PS4 emulating the PS2 version. Ironically, Limited Run has now put out on Switch, PS5, and Xbox. There is a remaster version of the PS2 one, which has way better controls. And, yeah, this is just a nostalgic pickup. I played this all the time growing up. It's a whatever Steelbook. Inside is just brown. It's the cover. Mandalorian logo. Nothing crazy. Same thing with Racer Revenge. I had never played Racer Revenge. I played a ton of Pod Racer Episode 1 in the arcade game. Had never played the PS2 sequel. Surprisingly solid. And actually a pretty cool inside Steelbook. They've got the like little schematics for your Pod Racers there. Next up, we've got Street Fighter V. This was a weird one. This was a European pre-order launch edition. And I remember I imported this just for the Steelbook. And then very sadly had to live with the reality that, wow, Street Fighter V kind of sucked at launch. It's a great game. So whatever kind of Steelbook. You get, like, here's a random stage. Nothing crazy. Street Fighter V eventually would get good, but was kind of a bummer of... yeah, that launch was not what we wanted after Street Fighter 4, sadly. Now, here's a very underrated Steelbook. Tactic Ogre Reborn. You're like, this is really boring. Why are you showing me this? Because it's a trap. They actually put the main art on the back when it's fine. Look at this beautiful art. It's a glossy Steelbook. A little too glossy, if I'm being honest, but it still looks great. Then on the inside, you've got this awesome mural art. Tactics Ogre Reborn, super underrated game. Very, very cheap. Please play it where you can. It's a fantastic game. That was a European-only Steelbook as well. That one was a pain in the butt to not get. Next up, Tekken 7. This is the only Steelbook that has Akuma on it, and it's just very funny because I always think about the fact that Tekken 7 having Akuma is the only thing we got out of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and it's very funny to me. Yeah, there's nothing on the inside art. I mean, at least, yeah, it's just black on the inside. This was, Buddy got this for me. It was a Best Buy pre-order bonus. He was like, hey, I really want to play Tekken 7. Here you go. Oh, yeah, there's this Steelbook that came with it, too. And that's how I got it. Next up is another limited run Steelbook. This is for Thumper. Apparently, this won an award or something for, like, best Steelbook design. I don't know who gave this to them, or maybe if it was, like, Steelbook giving this to limited run. This is a cool Steelbook. I don't know. I like it. I love the art design of Thumper. I think it's really interesting. I just, like, don't know if I'd give it, like, an award. Got a random stage on the inside here. Funny about the Steelbook, they did fuck it up, though. They made this European. They flipped it upside down. So, that was a little funny note about this Steelbook. And then our last Sodesco Steelbook, Tower of Guns. Again, go back to 2016. Steelbooks and indie games. Very surprising. Even though, yes, this literally has nothing except this. It is a Steelbook with no other art besides that. But hey, the standards were low back then. Believe it or not, we're almost done. They said it couldn't be done. My hard drive is currently saying it can't be done. But we're almost done. For real, for real. Alright. Another game I don't have yet, but a nice GameStop and Play hooked me up. Visions of Mana. This was an exclusive Steelbook. There was no Steelbook with the horrendously expensive collector's edition. But you know what? I played the demo of this. I thought, holy crap, this is a bummer. I love Mana. This game is really boring. And everyone told me, hey, that demo sucks. The main game is way better. And especially after hearing such good word of mouth and how much I really like this Steelbook, I will give it a shot, and it will definitely go down in price. It already has before. Here is one for Uncharted 4. Unfortunately, it's the only Uncharted Steelbook I have. There's Uncharted 2, 3, Nathan Drake collection. All have Steelbooks. That's the only one I have. But it's a cool one. Interesting design. There's a map in the... Yeah, there's a map on the inside art. But yeah, cool little Steelbook you got from either the Deluxe or Collector's Edition. This one I did actually get at Best Buy, thankfully. Valkyrie Elysium. Not a game everybody loved. Really great Steelbook, though. The purple just stands out so nicely. The clock. And I think, yeah. And then you have this great 2D art on the inside. Really fun game. Did I buy it just for the Steelbook? Maybe. But at least it had a better demo than Visions of Mana. That is for sure. Yakuza Kiwami. This was a crazy one, man. $30. Brand new. And the launch edition came with this Steelbook. So also, there's a little cutout there for it. But then here's what the Steelbook looks like. It's pretty simple. Nothing crazy. The back is really like, that's like the showpiece. You have the tattoos there. It's really, really nice. And then you got downtown on the inside art. Yakuza has a really tragic history with Steelbooks. None of them bad, but like just kind of disappointing. Yakuza 2, another $30 game. Actually, this one might have been like 40 or 50, but remake of the second Yakuza game. Gorgeous Steelbook. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Every copy of this game came with this Steelbook. So awesome. Really great. Another shot of the downtown in your art. Man, I can't wait to see the Steelbook for Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 remastered. Or 6. It didn't happen. And then ironically, they did a Day 1 edition on Xbox and PS4. The Daiichi Steelbook edition. It's a fine Steelbook. It's okay. The funny thing about this might be one of the most overprinted Steelbooks I've ever seen in my life. This you can find pretty much everywhere for like $5. It's just the main cover extended out. It's fine. It's yellow. There's a sheep head, goat head, whatever it is. It's cool. Best Buy, though, had definitely a way better pickup. And this one's also super, super common. It is just red, but this is the Japanese cover. So if you are a big nerd like me who likes the Japanese cover and then wants the Steelbook on the inside, they're just swapped. But for the price of free, it was definitely worth it. Oh, actually, I forgot. Yakuza Ishin did get a Steelbook release. This was a funny one. There's also nothing on the spine. I don't have this game yet still, but I do have the Steelbook. Best Buy. Oh, hold on. I've been talking for 30 minutes. Here we go. Best Buy first announced they had this as a pre-order bonus. Exclusive through Best Buy. And then GameStop announced they have this same Steelbook as Best Buy. They just both had it. Both thought it was exclusive. Game didn't sell that well. I don't think this is a very rare Steelbook, but hey, this is a cool one. And again, shows the original Japanese art for Ishin. The inside is much nicer. Like, that's a really, really cool use of that art. This game is not that rare. I gotta pick this up. I'm like, so... But again, there's like 9,000 Yakuza games that come out all the time. Finally, PS4-wise. We're at the final game. NIS America, not a company known for doing Steelbooks. This is the Steelbook for Ease 8. It's the only Ease Steelbook I own, as of now. Embossed on the back, you got the logo. This actually might be debossed. Yeah, I think it's debossed. But, really, really pretty. I got this for the PlayStation Vita. If you bought the PlayStation Vita Collector's Edition, you still got the PS4 Steelbook because there was no PS Vita Collector's Edition. That is fine. I love Ease 8, and this is a gorgeous Steelbook. It's been reprinted a whole bunch. It's not that rare, but it's really cool. Falcom does not get a lot of Steelbooks. I guess actually with Trails they probably have a lot more now. But that is it for games on PlayStation. We've gone way too long, so I definitely need to like wrap this up. If you want to see movies or other stuff, please let me know. Comments below. We can always do more. But we're going to wrap it up. I've got Nintendo, a little bit of Xbox, and even PC. So we're going to do them in order of ones you care the least about. Xbox, I've got 3. Please hold your applause. Quantum Break. I love Quantum Break. Words you don't hear many people say. This was a GameStop pre-order bonus Steelbook. Love how this looks. As we mentioned before, Xbox games usually have the disc on the left. This one had the disc on the right. Did they just run out of Xbox Steelbooks? The world will never know. Clearly, Lost Judgment found some. Next up, we've got Forza Horizon 3. This was one of me just mostly wanting it because I love Forza Horizon. The Steelbook's fine. I would actually like to get the Steelbook for like Gears 4. I don't think there's one for 5. And then Horizon 4 I know had one. And Horizon 5 might have even had a Steelbook. And then there's just a bunch of cars behind this one with it. Nothing crazy, but Forza Horizon is really, really fun. This one's a wild one. This was a journey. Series X might be my only series. Yeah, I think it is literally my only Series X Steelbook. Halo Infinite. I had a copy of this game already. I bought this for this Steelbook. This was the Collector's Steelbook Edition. Cost me $60, even though I already had the game digitally. And I don't know if this is coming across. Master Chief is fucked up, man. This dude looks like they turned the brightness down on him all the way, like the opposite of the Resident Evil one. But the rest of it's fine. The rest of the Steelbook looks completely bright, readable, and fine. Master Chief is just all fucked up. So here's the extra funny thing of how many of these they must have made. This one is on the left side, so they found some more. This was also a pre-order bonus at Best Buy. So you could buy this at any store, and it would come with the Steelbook. Or Best Buy just eventually gave up and I guess was like, please take this weirdly dark Master Chief Steelbook. And that's what happened. Now, speaking of weird Steelbooks, we're going to talk about PC Steelbooks. Which hopefully will not all fall on me and kill me. Let's see how we do here. Da, 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 da. Oh, this is a lot heavier than it looks. Oh. There we go. Okay. GameStop, back when they were publishing video games under Game Trust, did 10 Steelbook releases. They were all like 20 to 30 bucks, anywhere between there. They were indie games. Again, this is crazy time. Indie games on Steelbooks? What the hell? So, they're all numbered on the bottom, 1 through 10. Nobody bought these. These are nice releases, actually. They are PC games. They were a collaboration, by the way, with Game Trust and IndieBox. I don't even know if IndieBox is still around, but they actually did some cool work. So, we'll go through all the games. We are not going to open them up. The insides are not anything that crazy. You got a manual, the game, and the soundtrack on all of these. Like I said, these sold terribly. Absolutely, absolutely terribly. I picked these up, as most people probably did. They got clearanced out for $1. Like 97 cents. Brand new, never used, everything in here. Mint condition. You know me. Look at this face. Look at this wall. Do I look like a PC gamer? Hell no. 97 cents. The CD costs more than that. So, Nuclear Throne, Rogue Legacy. And also, funny thing, a lot of these games already like came to Vita or PlayStation, so it was like, oh, cool. Like, there's nothing on it that like says PC anywhere on it, so it's like, yeah, go for it. And almost none of these have any back art, and if any do, I'll show them to you. Axiom Verge is probably the most rare out of all of them now. I know they're not 97 cents now, but Axiom Verge and Nuclear Throne are probably like the only really, really big ones. Guacamelee is a cool one. Great art. Got some chickens on the back. Again, everybody, 97 cents. What are you sacrificing to get these? The money these were the money lost on these had to be catastrophic. But completely worth it for me. Awesome Nuts. Definitely sounded like nuts. Chariot. Fantastic game. Great co-op game. Alright, this might be like the only one I don't know. Stories, The Path of Destinies. I'm sure it's fine. Oh, this one actually I really like. Thomas Was Alone. That game about cubes. They gave it a Steelbook. They gave it a Steelbook, and I bought it for $1. So that's my PC and Xbox collection. I'm sure someone knew those existed. Someone besides me, I hope. And now we're going to wrap it up with Nintendo. Nintendo 3DS, not a system you would think about for Steelbooks. Mostly because for most of its life, it never did. But there were two. In the beginning, this was the first Steelbook. Not even a Nintendo published game. They're both Adventure Time games, which is even funnier. D3 published these Adventure Time games back when D3 actually published games physically. And I'd say I still am a huge Adventure Time fan. I'm a big cartoon nerd. They released Adventure Time, Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage? Collector's Edition. This Collector's Edition, I think, was also on DS. There may be a DS version of this. But it's a little way-forward platformer in a jumbo Steelbook. Like I said, not a big fan of jumbo Steelbooks, but this one at least actually holds the game. I would open this, but there's no inside art, and a bunch of stuff falls out if you do. But it's a really cool little Steelbook. It is an actual Steelbook for a 3DS game. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I've never seen that before. I bought that brand new when it came out, and I thought that was cool. Thank God I bought the other one before 3DS games got rare. A couple of years later, they released Hey Ice King, Adventure Time, Explore the Dungeon, because I don't know. This released on like everything else, not Vita for some reason. They eventually did a Vita game, but this released on, I think, Wii U, 3DS, PS3, and 360, and it's a dungeon crawler, except only the 3DS got the Collector's Edition. So, one of the worst ways to play this game, I mean, I say worst ways, it's a fine way to play it. None of these games are, like, amazing, by the way. They, like, had, like, probably a dev time of, like, 10 months. But this Steelbook is a BMO! It's a little BMO Steelbook. There's, like, a little button indentation here. He's glossy, looks great. You get his little butt back here. And, yeah, I bought this well after it came out. I think I bought this for, like, $20 brand new on Amazon. Again, I'm so glad most things I ever am interested in collecting I get into before I get hosed on prices too bad. So, those existed. That's a thing that happened. It's just a Steelbook that holds a case. Nothing too crazy. And then, way down the line, like when the new 3DS finally came out, Nintendo was like, we are going to do what Sony was too chicken shit to do. We are going to pay the Steelbook company, literally, Nintendo paid the Steelbook company to make a mold of a 3DS case for Steelbooks, and then almost released none of them over here in America. They all released internationally. So there's a couple of these that exist. I own two. I own the only one for Zelda. This is Majora's Mask. I think this was imported from, I think mine is from France, but it was pretty widely available in Europe. It is a very simple design, no name on the spine. The mask looks great, and then you actually get a world map for the inside. I love this Steelbook. It is definitely one of my favorites. There are not many Steelbooks for Zelda, as we're going to find out. And then this, along with the Pokemon Go hype, got me definitely more interested. I bought Sun and Moon together. Very rare I'll buy any Pokemon game at launch. Extremely rare I would buy the Collector's Edition, mostly because it was a Steelbook, and it holds both cartridges on the inside. That's just absolutely banana sauce. But cool that it exists. Some other games that do have cool Steelbooks. There is a great one for Samus Returns. It looks like a Game Boy. That one looks like a Game Boy cartridge, like a square cartridge. And then there's one for Ultra Sun and Moon. And I think there might be like another one or two. But that was the one I really, really wanted. And then Wii U had a very short life of Steelbooks. They are DVD sized, unfortunately. And they are all pretty much European exclusive. I don't even know if this Wii U Steelbook ever came out over here. So this was the launch edition of Star Fox Zero. I imported this. Even when it came out, nobody really wanted this. But I thought, I was like, hey, this is a cool Steelbook. And the inside is nice. It actually holds both your copy of Star Fox and Star Fox Guard. With little R-Wing schematics in there. And now this is like my crown jewel for the Wii U collection. Xenoblade Chronicles X. This Steelbook was only in the Collector's Edition in Europe. Absolutely gorgeous. Stupid upside down name. Thanks, Germany. Looks fantastic. And then you've got the mechs fighting on the inside. God, Nintendo, please give me a Steelbook for the Definitive Edition. Speaking of Switch, that's the end of this video. We're talking about the Switch Steelbooks. Jeez Louise. We're going to start off, though. Shout out to friends of the show, PM Studios. They made an official PM Studios Steelbook just to hold Nintendo Switch cartridges. This is a template, actually, officially you can get through Steelbook. I know they've done these for Lego. There's a couple of Lego Switch Steelbooks that hold Switch games. This is a very weird one. That was a giveaway. You had to like either find them at events or something. And not a crazy rare Steelbook. I mean, again, the minimum print quantities are insane. But it was a really cool thing I wanted to get for a friend's company. And again, PM Studios makes awesome games. And publishes great games, I should say. Alright, next up is Switch. We're going to go in alphabetical order. And a lot of these we've already seen, so we will not be very long. Important to know with Switch, though, sometimes the spines have their names, and sometimes they don't. One thing I will say about Limited Run I do like, they use the exact same font type as normal Switch games. So it helps it stand out a lot less obnoxiously than other games in your collection might. This one was I think this one actually still might be a crazy rare Steelbook I own. This is the Steelbook. This was available in Europe and Japan. Mine is special. This holds Bayonetta 1 and 2 on Switch before they were available very easily in the West. These hold both cartridges. This Steelbook was available in Europe, but there was not a cartridge for Bayonetta 1. You only could get that through the Non-Stop Climax Edition in Japan, and that, my God, was expensive. Followed up, we've got Bayonetta 3, which had an amazing Steelbook, only in Europe. Europe loves getting their Steelbooks for Switch games for some reason. There's a lot of Switch Steelbooks I wish I had, but there are just so many games, so little time, and so little money. I try to prioritize which ones I really, really want. But yeah, Bayonetta 3 was thankfully not too horrendously expensive and a fun one. Here we've got Celeste on Switch, still with the same shattered glass. Fire Emblem Engage. Very underrated game. I feel like not enough people talk about this. Engage is a very fun game, coming from a man who was not a Fire Emblem fan. Or was not for many years. Next up, this is a crazy one from Limited Run. Fury, great art style. Once again, I wish I remember the name of the artist, but the guy who did the art for Afro Samurai did the main character design. This game is great, and the only thing better than the art design is the soundtrack. Wish the PS4 had a Steelbook for it, but it does not. Giga Wrecker Alt, exact same thing, just on the Switch. Kingdom New Lands, exact same thing, but on the Switch. Here is a great one. I cannot believe Nintendo did not give us this. I love this Steelbook for so many reasons. Link's Awakening, Switch Remake, the Steelbook in Europe is a Game Boy. This is so perfect in so many ways. You've got screenshots from the original on there. None of this, by the way, you would think is for the Switch game, but like this is official and it's great. There's indentions on all the buttons, the speakers, even the battery pack. I'm sure that like hurts somebody's soul, but man, I love that Steelbook so much. Skyward Sword HD. This was a European, I think, My Nintendo store exclusive. We got no Skyward Sword Steelbooks at all in America. And there are two, actually. This one was in Europe, in PAL territories, probably. And then this beauty was a South Korean exclusive. And I love the use of the cover art in the front. And then the inside is just kind of plain. Again, it has two cards for some reason. I don't know what these what molds they're finding for Steelbooks over there. They're just like, whatever you got, chuck it in there, man. And then next up, the only Steelbook we've ever gotten in North America for a Zelda game. Tears of the Kingdom. There was not any for Age of Calamity or Breath of the Wild, sadly. Not officially. But I like this one. It's very subdued. It's not flashy. It's very appropriate to the game. Not spoiling anything. I'm sure there are some people who don't like this one. But I actually really do like this. I love Tears of the Kingdom. Next up, this is a man... Nintendo was wild. Switch Steelbooks did not start until Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which was almost 9+ months after the system came out. And Nintendo was like, hey, we should release games with Steelbooks after the games came out. Mario Kart 8 was one of them. If you decided to buy Mario Kart 8 9 months after release, they would give you this Steelbook. Because they hate us. It's a simple Steelbook, but you know what? I'm here for it. It looks cool. I had already bought the game, so I just immediately pawned it off on a friend who had not, and I lived a happier life for it. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This is technically a Ubisoft Steelbook, but this was a Steelbook you could only get in the West for GameStop. There was a My Nintendo Europe one as well. The inside, I think, is actually much, much better. I love the silhouette art of everybody. Next up, we've got a funny one. This is the first Steelbook from Limited Run, and it's actually 2 games. I would say 2 games in one, but it is 2 cartridges. It's Flint and Hook, Mercenary Kings, a lot of pink, both carts. This time it makes sense. And then we've got Metroid Prime Dread. Pretty plain Steelbook, but it was a pretty cheap collector's edition. Matte looks really nice. Great inside art as well. This one's just Spencer bait. Night Trap. Really cool Steelbook. The only Steelbook for Night Trap. Love Night Trap. Never things I thought I would say until this port came out. Really big fan of this game and the developer. Really hope they do something soon. Pixel Junk Monsters 2. It's more of the same. Same Steelbook as PS4. This, I forgot about this one. This is Pokemon Pokemon Legends Arceus. We got no Steelbook here in the West because they hate us. And I saw this was just like a pre-order bonus in Europe, and I was like, this is gorgeous. I love this art. I was very excited about Arceus. I still enjoy playing it very much to this day. And I was like, I have got to play this. This looks great. I'm glad I imported it. It's probably one of my favorite Switch Steelbooks that's not Zelda. The first Pokemon Switch one, much like Mario Kart, 9 million years after the game came out originally, Best Buy sold this. So if you bought either Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee at Best Buy, around like the holiday season, they just gave you this Steelbook. You couldn't buy the Steelbook, you had to buy the game all over again. I did not own Let's Go at all, so I picked up Let's Go Eevee, And I really, really enjoy it. I still need to finish it. I've been mostly just messing around with it in co-op mode whenever I have a chance, but really cool. And also, if you're not noticing, why is this kind of like a random Steelbook? Also, Nintendo hates putting names on the spine. Pikachu can fly or surf, hence why the water and balloons. And then if you notice, the Eevee one's probably more obvious, all of the evolution elements. It's a cool little design touch. Here is that absolutely boring magnet. Power Rangers, fight for the grid, battle for the grid, battle for the grid. We've got Slime Song, fun little platformer. Probably did not need a Steelbook, but you know what? I still enjoy having the game. Oh my god. Alright, we got here. The worst Steelbook in my entire collection, probably. That's somehow actually an official Steelbook. I bought this for $5 from Amazon Germany, and I still feel like I overpaid for this. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, a game known for amazing art design and thousands of characters, only to have the official Steelbook in all countries, collector's editions, pre-order bonuses, whatever, have no characters on stage, and the only screenshot from the entire game is from fucking Battlefield. Why? Saturday morning RPG, same as the PS4 one, just way more common. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Great use of two very different art styles for a Steelbook. Found this through a random Facebook Marketplace ad. Guy was moving, and I bought this, I think, for like $5. Great deal. This was a European pre-order bonus. Thumper, same design, same butt scarab, same inside. We're almost done, I promise. Triangle Strategy. We do not have many Steelbooks for the HD 2D games. Octopath does not have one. Live Alive, I wish had one. But this was for the European Collector's Edition. I imported this. Very happy. I love Triangle Strategy. Such a great game. So much fun. I love the pixel art characters on the inside. Super underrated Steelbook. And then, last but not least, the Xenoblade Quadrilogy. We've got Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition Steelbook. This one was a European exclusive. I own all of these Xenoblade Collector's Editions with Steelbooks because why would they just be all in one set? So Europe got this Steelbook. We only got an art book. Ours was a hardcover art book. They got a softcover art book, but also with this amazing Steelbook and vinyl. Probably one of the best collector's editions they've ever done. The fight on the outside of the Steelbook, not as cool, but this is a really, really nice inside art. The other Steelbook I did not know existed for many years. This was a South Korean exclusive cover, very overly glossy, but nice shot of the cover. And then you've got the main title art from Future Connected on the backside. They don't really match when you open it up like that. And of course, there is no name on the spine. But the inside is a cool little inverse shot of the Monado. And then, like I said, the very first ever Steelbook made specifically for Nintendo Switch was Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You could only get this through the Collector's Edition. You got a little core crystal right there. Amazing art. Amazing, amazing, amazing art. Showing the main cast, Pyra, Mithra, Rex, everybody. And then on the inside, it's just fantastic. Like, the fact that this is the first Steelbook for Switch, and they knocked it out of the park so hard. Like, I would complain that there's no name on the spine, but, like, I now have so many Steelbooks that don't have the name, I'm not even mad. And then the only way they could top it off, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Special Edition Steelbook. The only way to get this is the nightmarishly shitty job of pre-ordering it through the Nintendo Store. It was a My Nintendo Store exclusive. The game shipped first, and then many months later, not many months, but I think 2 to 3 months later, you got the Special Edition components. One of them being this Steelbook. It's an all matte Steelbook by comparison. Here shows the sign on the back. And their form combining together on the inside. This Steelbook is fantastic and an absolute nightmare to collect. That is it. I think that is all of my Steelbooks in 9,000 hour long video. This is definitely not going to be uploaded the day of, but it'll be the day after for sure. So if you actually sat through and watched all of this, oh my god, I'm sorry. But I hope you learned something. If you enjoyed just having me on rambling as background noise, please let me know as well. Also, if you made it this far and are not subscribed, either tell me in a comment why or just consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 7K. Probably not going to happen by end of year, but it's nice to try. So we're going to get out of here. I need to finish my tea. My throat is absolutely dead right now. And I'm going to get started editing this and hoping to God that I have space to edit it in my phone. I will see you all later. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, happy 20th anniversary Steelbook for all my fellow Steelbook collectors out there. I will see you later. Bye!